hoping you can use a still from that and it's not just like hella awkward. Welcome back to my channel and welcome back to my Top Trumps TBR. This is where I use my Top Trumps cards to work out which books I'm going to read this month. As you can see, I do not have many cards left. That is because currently there is a form open, I put the link in the description below, where you can vote on the cover art of the books that are going to be in my TBR pile as of next month. So each card has a load of different factors on it. So author, page number, Goodreads rating and cover art. And obviously the cover art is the only subjective one at the moment because it was decided by me, my brother and my mum. We voted out of 10 and then kind of used the average to then create a cover art score. We thought that was kind of unfair, so we've now opened it up to you guys, and that is what is in the link below. So you can go through, you don't have to do all of them, there are quite a few on there. Essentially I put every book that I own that I have not read yet in my TBR because I think, to be honest, if I've had them this long, they need to be read or they need to get gone. So that will be my next pile of cards. I want to add another factor onto this for next month as well. I want to start reading more self-published and indie books, but obviously because these are the original cards that I made back in November, they don't have that on there yet. So I just want to say that the indie book that I'll be reading this month has yet to be decided, but I will put that in the link below as well if you want to have a look at that on Amazon, because maybe you haven't heard of it before. So the first one is author, so I pick 2 cards and I pick the author that I have not read before. So let's have a look at what we've got. So the first one is Madeline Miller. Now if you've seen my wrap up from December, you'll know that I've already read Madeline Miller, so it's not going to be that one. It'll be The Truth Witch by Susan Dennard. So that's our first one. So, a truth witch. In a continent on the edge of war, 2 witches hold its fate in their hands. Young witches, Sophia and Isolde, have a habit of finding trouble. After clashing with a powerful guildmaster and his ruthless blood witch bodyguard, the friends are forced to flee their home. Sapphi must avoid capture at all costs as she's a rare truth witch, able to discern truth from lies. Many would kill her for her magic, so Sapphi must keep it hidden, lest she be used in the struggle between empires. And Isolde's true power are hidden even from herself. All Sapphi and Isolde want is their freedom, but with war coming, treaties breaking, and a magical contagion sweeping the land, the friends will have to fight emperors and mercenaries alike. For some, will stop at nothing to get their hands on a truth witch. So yeah, I was quite excited about this. Obviously it's got blurbs from Sarah J Maas, Maria V Snyder, who I really love, and Robin Hobb. So I feel like this is, and it's by Tor. I pretty much trust most things Tor print. I think they're fantastic publishers. Hint, hint, publish my book. And yeah, I was really excited by this. This feels a bit cruel princey in the kind of dynamic between hidden magic and real magic. And obviously I absolutely loved that. So I'm quite excited to crack on with this one. It's actually dusty. Why are you dusty? I only had you like a week. Maybe it's been longer than that. In which case I can only apologise. But I'm quite excited. This is the kind of fantasy of all of them. There's only one more that has a kind of fantasy element to it. So those are always going to be my faves. I'll be really, really surprised if I don't like this one. And disappointed. I'll be really disappointed if I don't like this one. Don't worry about any of the cards, they go back in the box and then I use them for next month. So the next one is number of pages, and I pick the book that has the longest number of pages to challenge myself. So we've got the first one, which is The Empress of All Seasons, which is 384 pages. That came up in my November TBR, but I didn't get a chance to read it. So it'd be quite interesting if that's the one that comes up. So that's 384 versus 352, which means it is. So Empress of All Seasons, she is back in the game. That is the book that I'll be reading for my January TBR. Okay. One will survive. Bold capital letters, that's terrifying. The rules are simple. Survive the palace's enchanted enchanted seasonal rooms. Conquer winter, spring, summer and fall, and you can marry the prince. All are eligible to compete, except yokai, supernatural spirits and monsters that the human emperor is determined to destroy. Marie has spent a lifetime training to become empress, and she doesn't just plan to win, she's going to steal the emperor's fortune. But she's hiding a dangerous secret. Marie is yokai, with the ability to transform into a terrifying monster. If discovered, her life will be forfeit. As she struggles to keep her true identity hidden, Marie's fate collides with that of Taro, the prince who has no desire to inherit the imperial throne, and Akira, a half-human, half-yokai outcast. Together they will decide the fate of the world. Which just sounds fun, doesn't it? Quite excited. And I think I need to prioritise this. This one's probably going to be the first one that I read, because it was obviously in the November one, and then I didn't read it, and I can only apologise. So, yeah. Quite excited for that one. Cool. Okay, so next we have Goodreads Rating. So again, it will be the highest Goodreads rating is the book that I will choose to read this month. So the contestants are We Were Liars, which has a 3.84 Goodreads rating, and To All the Boys I Loved Before, which has 4.16. So this is the winner. We're going to be reading this one. I'm really excited because I've seen the film. I know, you should always read the book before you watch the film, but I've seen the film, and the second film comes out on my birthday, so I'm very excited to actually read this and see if I enjoy this as much as I enjoyed the film. I know I said I don't really enjoy romances, but for those of you who haven't seen the film, I'm not going to give you spoilers, but I'll give you the brief background so that you're not, like, you know, having it ruined for you. Lara Jean's love life is about to go from imaginary to out of control. Lara Jean's song keeps her love letters in a hat box her mother gave her, one for every boy she's ever loved. She can say anything she wants because the letters are for her eyes only, until the day they are sent out. So this is a story about a girl who kind of, like, what I liked about this is I used to keep journals that had all, like, the kind of love letters to boys that I liked. And when I saw the film had come out, I got really excited because my first thought was, I think I would die of embarrassment if those ever got out or were ever seen. I am releasing an anthology of love stories that are kind of based on those things, but it's very much dictated by people who actually don't mind being in the book, people who don't know they're going to be in the book, and all from my perspective, so they're my stories. And the fact that Lara Jean did not have the kind of power to kind of dictate that is also terrifying. But like I said, the next film is out on my birthday. I gotta get it read before then. Just to, you know, recap, just to remind myself. Just go with it. Okay, and the last one for this one is the cover art. So it will be the one with the highest scoring cover art. We have Asking For It, which scored 6. And we have The Hate You Give, which only got 3. I think that's kind of brutal that we only gave that a 3. But it has the highest Goodreads rating, so I guess it has swings and roundabouts. So Asking For It is the book that I'll be reading for that one. Okay, Asking For It by Louise O'Neill. So in a small town where everyone knows everyone, Emma O'Donovan, which is very similar to my name, is different. She is the special one, beautiful, popular, powerful, and she works hard to keep it that way. Until that night. Now she's an embarrassment. Now she's a slut. Now she is nothing. And those pictures that everyone has seen, means she never can forget. So, I remember when I was younger, the book It came out. Or A Child Called It. No, yeah, A Child Called It. It is very, very different. I remember when I was younger, there was a book called A Child Called It. And there were chapters of it passed around our classrooms and schools and stuff, and then there was all this weird additional fiction that came out, and I remember thinking it was weird because I'd never really read stories that were sad or contemporary or anything like that before, and that was A Child Called It was kind of my introduction to that. And then when I saw this one on Amazon and saw what it was about, and having read more Sarah Dessen since then, and I just thought stories like this are really, really hard for me to read, but I think that's for a reason, and I kind of wanted to challenge myself, and that's kind of why I put this on my TBR. It's been really highly rated. It's got a girl crying on the front, so I think that foreshadows my response to it. I think it's going to be a brutal read, but I'm quite excited to kind of sink my teeth into it and see just how awful it is. I mean, The Telegraph has described it as a brave and important book about rape culture, sexism and victim blaming. So I think there's quite a few people that maybe need to read a book like this and learn something. I certainly hope I learned something, but brutal, absolutely brutal. But I'm quite excited to get into that one. And then because it's only 4 books, including the indie book that is yet to be decided, I'm going to pick out a wild card. So I've left all the ones over there that have already been through, so this is a completely brand new one. I'm going to read The Power by Naomi Alderman. Cool. Okay. All over the world, women are discovering they have the power. With a flick of the fingers, they can inflict terrible pain, even death. Suddenly, every man on the planet finds they've lost control. The day of girls has arrived, but where will it end? I mean, I love a power dynamic. The fact that it's called Power, it's just, I'm excited. Naomi Alderman actually taught at the university that I studied at, so I'm hoping that some of her genius, even though I didn't actually meet her, has rubbed off on the students she taught that I did spend time with, and then I can use that as an excuse for being awesome or something. Cosmopolitan have described it as The Hunger Games crossed with The Handmaid's Tale. So, 2 books that I loved. This is probably one of the few dystopias that are in my TBR at all, let alone in this month's thing. So, yeah, I'm excited. I just keep saying that. I'm a very excited person. I like to read. I like that my TBR kind of has it all sussed out for me. And they go back in the box, which I actually have. I actually have a nice box for it now. I need to decorate it because it's for something else, but I like the fact that it had, you know, small things, please, small minds and all that. I hope you enjoyed this video as much as I enjoyed making this video. It was a lot of fun because I get to just pick out random cards, and now I have books to read this month. Yay me. If you did like it, leave a like. If you're not subscribed, subscribe. I'm hoping that at 100 subscribers I can give a little gift card out to people to say thank you for sticking around. So if you want to be in a chance for that, you've got to be subscribed. That's the only way that it works. So have a nice week, and I'll see you again soon. Bye!